In 1921, an Italian man named Guccio Gucci left his hometown of Florence to pursue a new life in London. He worked as a porter at the Savoy Hotel, where he saw firsthand the extravagant handbags and riding gear that wealthy customers brought with them. These customers were mainly from America, and they would return home with their prized possessions, only to have them shipped back to Florence for safekeeping. The sight of these bags inspired young Guccio to follow his dreams of becoming a leather goods designer. After years of saving money, Guccio returned to Italy and opened his first shop on Via Condotti in Florence. His shop was called Gucci, and it was here that the famous brand was born. Over the next few decades, Gucci's products became known throughout Italy for their high quality and unique craftsmanship. This led to Hollywood royalty like Grace Kelly and Audrey Hepburn being photographed carrying Gucci bags. And so it seemed that Gucci had become one of the world's most prestigious fashion brands. But behind the scenes, all was not well. By the 1970s, Gucci had long since expanded outside of Florence. They had over 30 stores worldwide and were making around $100 million per year. This made them a target for criminals, and in 1974 the company was held up for a ransom of $50 million. Although this was a huge sum of money, it was not enough to deter the thieves who stole countless priceless items from the company. In fact, after receiving the ransom, the thieves still stole from the company and sold the stolen goods for $500,000. You might think that losing millions of dollars worth of inventory and having your company blackmailed would be enough to put any company out of business. But surprisingly, this was not the case for Gucci. Instead, this event led to one of the largest corporate sagas in modern history, complete with tales of double crosses, murders, and betrayals. So join me today as we explore the bizarre history of Gucci. After the robbery, the Gucci family began to fight amongst themselves over how to move forward. This fighting came to a head when Aldo Gucci, Guccio's son, planned to take the company public. His sister Pino did not agree with this decision, and she fought him all the way to the Supreme Court of Florence, where she won. As part of the ruling, Aldo was forced to sell his shares in the company to Pino, but Pino did not want to run the company herself. She wanted to sell it. She had hired an investment banker named Daniseo Ferragamo to help her find a buyer. And it just so happened that Ferragamo was also representing another Italian fashion brand, Salvatore Ferragamo. A deal was struck, and by 1989 Ferragamo had taken control of Gucci. This takeover, however, enraged Aldo Gucci, who still owned some shares in the company. He was convinced that Ferragamo had stolen trade secrets from Gucci and used them to make Salvatore Ferragamo more successful. He took Ferragamo to court, but the judge ruled that there was no concrete evidence to support his claims. It was during this trial that Aldo met a mysterious woman named Dawn Addison. Addison was the daughter of an American millionaire, and she had recently been married to a man named Joe Namath. She was extremely wealthy, and even wealthier than Aldo Gucci. When Aldo learned that Dawn was looking to invest in an Italian fashion house, he knew he had found the perfect person to buy his shares of Gucci. In 1990, Don Ada purchased 50% of Gucci from Aldo and then helped him buy out Ferragamo his stake in the company. With Ferragamo gone, Don Ada became the sole owner of Gucci. She wasted no time asserting her dominance over the company. She fired hundreds of employees and contracted the Ford firm to evaluate the company's prospects. The Ford report determined that the only way for Gucci to succeed was to embrace the trends of the 90s, such as grunge and minimalism. However, Tom Ford did not know anything about the fashion industry, so he hired an executive from rival brand Yves Saint Laurent to help him implement the new designs. This executive was a woman named Alessandra De Rossi. The new Gucci line was an instant hit, and Gucci's revenue shot up to $200 million per year. But behind the scenes, things were not going well. Tom Ford and Dawn Adder constantly fought with each other over the direction of the company. In addition, Tom Ford had a contentious relationship with the Gucci family, who felt that he was trying to use the brand to further his own interests. Ultimately, Tom Ford would be proven right. In 1999, he left Gucci to start his own brand, but before he did, he managed to secure a spot on the board of directors, which gave him a significant stake in the company. Now that Gucci was on sound financial footing, it was targeted by another Italian luxury goods maker, Pinault Printemps. Pinault Printemps had been founded by François Pinault, the same man whose wife controlled the competing fashion house Salvatore Ferragamo. Pinault Printemps offered to purchase Gucci for $3 billion, but the Gucci family rejected this offer. This angered François Pinault, who then began buying up shares of Gucci in the open market. He amassed a stake of almost 40%, which gave him enough voting power to take control of the company. The Gucci family sued Pinault, but the courts ruled in his favor, stating that he had simply exercised his right as a shareholder. Just 2 years later, however, the roles would be reversed. In 2001, François Pinault decided to merge his two luxury goods companies. This meant that the Gucci family would now have a controlling interest in the combined company, which was named PPR, or Pinault Printemps. The Gucci family was elated and began to plan for the future of the company. However, they did not realize that they were about to be betrayed by one of their own. In 2004, Paolo Gucci, the grandson of Guccio Gucci, announced that he would be running for CEO of Gucci. The Gucci family was shocked. No one thought that Paolo was qualified to run such a large company. Nevertheless, he ran for the position and actually won. Paolo immediately set about changing Gucci in ways that would make it more profitable for him personally. He raised prices, which caused sales to fall. He also cut costs by laying off thousands of workers. To make matters worse, Paolo began a legal battle with Ford over trademark rights. This proved to be costly for the company and ultimately resulted in a loss. By 2006, Gucci's earnings had fallen by 80%. With the company in shambles, the Gucci family had no choice but to fire Paolo and bring in Robert Paulet as CEO. Robert was tasked with the nearly impossible job of turning Gucci around. Luckily for Robert, he was up to the task. He lowered prices to increase sales. He also brought in designer John Ray to update Gucci's look for the 21st century. Gucci's earnings began to rebound under Robert's leadership, and by 2012, the company was once again profitable. Today, Gucci is owned by the luxury goods company Kering, which is controlled by François Pinault's family. The Gucci family no longer has any involvement with the company, but they are still very wealthy. Guccio Gucci's grandchildren each have a net worth of at least $300 million. So what are your thoughts on the Gucci family? Do you think Paolo was right to try and take the company in a different direction? Or do you think Robert Paulet did a better job as CEO? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you in the next video.